Welcome to the Jack Attack Show, episode 4. And it's going to be something special. This is going to be something different, something I haven't done before. This is going to be the viewer request email. If you don't have email or something like that, fan request or fan question show. I'm very excited about this. I want this to make this more interactive to the people who watch this, and I'm very appreciative of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read out some of the questions, and then, if I have any filler, I'm going to see, because I'm watching the draft right now, I'm going to, if anything breaks, do some stuff like that, and we'll be out of here in probably less than 10 minutes. So it's going to be a nice, chill video, and I hope you guys enjoy. So my first question comes from Adam Williams, a dear friend of mine. He writes in and says, hold on. There we go. He writes in and says, who will win the World Series this year, and who do they beat? That's a great question. I have this written down. There's a lot of choices. There really was. You have the Mets. I think, I don't really think they can hang on with their issues, with the injuries, with the pitching staff. I don't think they can hold on. I don't know about the Dodgers. I don't know if they have the depth pitching wise. As we talked about the Mets, I don't know if they can hold off from their injuries. With Scherzer and DeGrom. DeGrom might not play all this year. And it's not too much of the Dodgers having injuries. It's too much. I don't think they have the depth. So obviously the Dodgers have hitters and everything, but for the NL, I'm going to go with the San Diego Padres. And here's why. They've had good pitching this year. They've done a good job of holding the fort, even though Tatis hasn't played at all this year, which has been really, really incredible. So when he comes in, that's going to give them an added boost. And that's something you really want to see with a team like the Padres. And they're right on the heels of the Dodgers. They're only a half game out. So that's huge for the morale of the Padres. The Padres are going to be like, hey, as soon as we get Tatis, one of the best hitters in the world, we can catch the Dodgers, we can win the division, and even more. So I like the Padres in the NL. Of what they've done without Tatis has been huge. And like I said, the pitching's been good. From middle relievers, closers, starting pitching has been really good. And then I know this is a chalky pick, so I apologize, but there's really three teams I can say. You can say the White Sox if they catch on late, the Astros, and then you have obviously the team that's really just done it is the Yankees, and I'm picking the Yankees. There's really not a hole in this lineup. Their pitching is coming on. Their middle relief and their closing is a little, but they're starting to come on, and I'll tell you what, they are 12 games up on the Blue Jays, which is unbelievable. Unbelievable when you think about it. So I have the Yanks and the Padres. Who's going to win? To finish off that question, I think it's going to be the Yankees. Sorry, I'm live watching the draft too, and I just lost a $20 bet with my friend Marshall because Pablo went first. So congratulations to him. I was wrong. I thought Chet would go first. That was over a year bet. Sorry. We move on. Gotta keep forward thinking. You guys stole background viewing. I just think the Yankees are a complete team. They have it all. They'll probably make a move in the trade deadline and do what's necessary to continue being a good team. And they go from there. So that is. Thank you for that question, Dub. Question here from Marshall, person who just so we have a question here. Who thinks they'll make the playoffs in the West but won't? West teams that are trying to make the playoffs this season. That's a tough one to me because I think that they're trying to make the playoffs and won't. I got two teams that come to mind. The teams that are trying to make the playoffs and won't in the West. Well, first, I have Minnesota and I have New Orleans. And I know that sounds kind of chalky. I think it's kind of a fault. I don't really think Minnesota's going to stay on this like huge level of greatness. So I think it's going to be Minnesota and Pelicans. I think both of them are trying to make the playoffs. Their rosters are set for the most part. And I could see falls from those teams 100%. Now, if I had to pick one, I think I would have to go Minnesota, only for the reason of the Pelicans had the Zion mystery, Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum. Minnesota, there's a lot of question marks with that team. There really is, and they really put it all together last year, and can we really see them pulling it all together next year? With how tough the West is, because the Clippers are probably going to bounce some of those teams because the Clippers are probably going to be making. Sorry, the Clippers will be making the playoffs next year. There's no maybe they will be making the playoffs with a full healthy Paul George, a full healthy Kawhi Leonard. There's no probably about it. They will be making the playoffs, so they will be jumping one of those playing teams. So I think my choice is the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I appreciate that question as we see Pablo getting interviewed right now. You really do hate to see it. But like I said, it was just going to be a 10-minute. And we have one more question. It goes to Derek. Derek sent me a question, and he says the following. Will Baltimore beat Chicago White Sox in the series this weekend? Well, you never say never. But I see who is going for the White Sox. Kopech, Lance Lynn. Some very, very tough, formidable foes you're facing in the pitching rotation for the White Sox. So we'll see what happens. You never say never. The Orioles are in last place for a reason. But, on any given day, a team can be beat especially in a long ass contest like the MLB 162 game. So could they sneak out a win? Sure, but do I think they win the series? I don't necessarily think so, especially with Kopech going tomorrow and how dominant he's been. Especially Kopech's facing a pitcher who's pitching over his ERA is over 7, so I don't think that's the best situation you want out of your matchup in your second game. So those are the questions, and then there's one more question I wanted to add. That wasn't given to me, but I'm going to make it seem like someone gave it to me. So with the addition of Arch Manning to Texas, which just happened today, does this make Texas, shall I say, elite? Pretty damn close. Now we're all going to expect Quinn Ewers to basically transfer after this year, because you're not staying on a league. You're not staying on a team when you have Arch Manning, because he's going to be there for all 3 years. So he's going to have to transfer again. But I think he's going to be all right with, or Texas is going to be all right with that when you have Arch Manning. He can run around. He's mobile. He's elusive. He can throw the ball. He's accurate. And Texas is starting to build a good recruiting staff. Now, I know people have heard that, and I'm not going to get too deep in the recruiting thing, but they've thrown together some good recruiting classes. Now, they've done that for years on years. Now they have to put it to flourishing. Now they've done it with all these coaches now. Charlie Strong and Sarkisian and all these coaches, and now they have to put it to use. And they can't be upset by results that aren't what they expect immediately. They might have to be a little patient, because if it doesn't happen immediately, they can't be firing this or doing that. I get it. Texas fans are impatient, but good things are to come of Texas. I am sure of it, especially when you have 2 5-stars in the books. Well, at least you have 2 5-stars. Like I said, Quinn will be transferring after this year. You can bank on it. There will be no quarterback competition next year, because that is going to be Arch's job for at least 3 years. And you can put Quinn Ewers in Utah or San Diego State or wherever. You're going to drop down 2 tiers when you transfer 2 times. So that'll be that. That is a show. I really appreciate all the questions. They mean a lot to me. They really do. I want to make this really a good show for viewership and feedback. And I don't want this to be a whole Laker show and because that is kind of a turnoff. I want you guys to, what do you guys want to hear? What questions do you have, about, the NFL, NBA, your teams? So then I can, we can kind of feed back and forth, That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to get reps, and I just enjoy doing this and enjoy communicating with you guys. It's been really cool and fulfilling. So can't wait for the Jack Tech show number 5. But number 4 was really great, and I enjoy doing this, and can't wait to do more. Take care.